Welcome to Lesson 12, the last one. You've spent 11 lessons learning how to write a real firewall config. Now we're going to talk about how to actually put it on a production box without locking yourself out. The whole lesson hangs on one idea: a 5-stage safety chain: pre-flight, backup, deploy, verify, commit. Skip a stage, and you're the one explaining things at 3 in the morning. Here's the ritual laid out. Stage 1, pre-flight. You syntax check the new rule set with iptables restore-t before it ever touches the kernel. Stage 2, backup. Snapshot the live rules to a file because that's what your deadman rollback from Lesson 8 reads from. Stage 3, verify. After deploy, you measure counters, SSH, expected services up, unexpected ones blocked. And Stage 4, commit. Only once verification passes do you cancel the timer and persist. Until then, the box is 2 minutes from reverting, which is exactly the safety net you want. Now look at it as a checklist. 5 stages, around 20 checkboxes total, and roughly 20 minutes end to end. Pre-flight catches typos before they become outages. Backup gives the rollback something to restore. Deploy is where the timer arms. Verify is where you actually earn the commit. And commit is the smallest stage, because by then the hard work is done. Skip any one of these and you've quietly accepted a class of failure you didn't have to. So let's start at the left terminal. Pre-flight. 4 small commands, but each one closes a specific failure mode. Hostname confirms you're not about to nuke the wrong box. iptables restore-t catches syntax errors before they touch the kernel. The diff shows you exactly what's changing, and that grep on dport 22 is the one that keeps your SSH session alive. On the right, backup is even simpler. Snapshot the live rule set to or TMP with a timestamp, verify the file actually has bytes in it, and if you're tracking config in Git, commit it. That last comment says it all. Now you can always get back here. Now Stage 3, the deploy itself, and the order here is non-negotiable. You schedule the deadman rollback first. A backgrounded subshell that sleeps 5 minutes, then restores your backup no matter what. Capture its PID so you can kill it later if all goes well. Only then do you run iptables restore on the new rule set, atomic all or nothing, and list the chains to confirm it loaded, and then you sit still. Don't close the session, don't open a new tab. The timer is running and verify is next. While the timer counts down, you verify, and the first test is the one that matters most. Open a brand new SSH session from a second machine. If that lands, you didn't lock yourself out. Then watch the counters tick, curl the services that should be up, and grep dmsg for anything getting dropped that shouldn't be. Only when all 4 checks pass do you move to commit. Kill the rollback PID, save the rules to disk, commit them to Git with a real message, and tell the team in Slack. That last step isn't optional. Undocumented firewall changes are how the next outage starts. But what if verification fails? Here's the rule that separates seasoned operators from the people who get locked out. Don't troubleshoot live. Roll back first. If a critical counter is 0, if your fresh SSH won't land, if a service is down, let the deadman timer fire or run iptables restore against your backup right now. Resist the urge to bolt on one more rule to fix it. That just stacks a second bug on top of the first. Once the old rules are back and verify passes, then you debug calmly in your rules.v4 file, and you rerun the full chain from pre-flight. So why all this ceremony? Why not just trust an experienced operator to be careful? Because 3 things are always working against you. Pressure breaks careful. It's 4 p.m. Friday. The team's waiting. And that's exactly when you skip the backup and mistype the CIDR. Atomic over incremental. There are no small firewall changes. Every A is a deploy on a critical system. And reversibility is the real feature here. Knowing you can undo is what gives you the courage to actually tighten things instead of leaving them alone out of fear. So before we close out, here's the entire series compressed to 12 sentences, 1 per lesson. If you forget everything else, keep these. Iptables is the writer, Net filter the engine. Be specific with your matches. Stateful rules first. Top down, first match wins. DNAT in pre-routing, SNAT in post-routing. Save to text, restore atomically, always with a dead man timer. That's the spine. Every production firewall you'll ever write hangs off these bones. Reading the spine isn't enough. You have to feel it under your fingers. 3 drills, all on a throwaway VM. First, run the full 5 stages for one harmless rule, end to end, no shortcuts. Second, deliberately break SSH and let the rollback timer save you. Once you've felt that safety net snap closed, you'll never deploy without it. Third, write your own deploy.sh with set EUO pipe fail and a trap that always rolls back on failure. That script becomes your personal deploy tool from here on out. Once you've drilled it, you start recognizing the failure patterns, and they're remarkably consistent. 5 mistakes cause almost every iptables outage I've ever seen. Deploying without a rollback timer locks you out. Skipping the T syntax check on a big file leaves you half applied. Trusting iptables, L instead of real traffic hides broken rules. Canceling the rollback before verify finishes kills your safety net at the worst moment. And forgetting to iptables save plus git commit means the next reboot quietly erases everything. Each one maps to a stage you skipped. Don't skip the stage. And that's the series. 12 lessons, 144 slides, and one chain you'll carry into every deploy. Pre-flight, backup, deploy, verify, commit. You can write the rules, you can debug them, and you can ship them without locking yourself out at 3 in the morning. The rest is reps. So go find a real server and run the chain. Thank you for taking iptables Mastery. Now go ship something.